Good Saturday evening to you wrestling fans. Josh with you.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Television Championship.
World Championship Wrestling coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. It is a sold-out crowd here this evening for 6 big matches, and we are kicking things off with a World Television title matchup. The former champion Brad Armstrong hoping to regain the title as he takes on the champion, the newly crowned champion, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Also tonight, wrestling fans, it'll be for the top contendership in the U.S. Championship bracket as the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff takes on the boss Magnum TA. Also in a top contenders match, the Midnight Express will take on Flyin Brian and the Z-Man Tom Zink for the number 1 spot in the rankings for the U.S. Tag Team Championship. It'll be the Powers of Pain, Barbarian and Warlord taking on Wildfire Tommy Rich and Captain Mike Rotunda. And of course, in a top contenders match to determine who will challenge next for the TV title, it will be young Sam Houston taking on Black Bart. And our main event, the number 1 contender, Big Van Vader, will take on the number 2 contender, Nature Boy Ric Flair, and the winner will get a World Heavyweight title match against the Total Package Lex Luger, the champion, in 2 weeks. Let's go down to our ring announcer.
Introducing the challenger from Marietta, Georgia, weighing in at 226 pounds, Brad Armstrong. Introducing the champion from Bad Street, Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 235 pounds, he is the World Television Champion, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Precious in the corner of her man, Jimmy Garvin, as he puts the TV title on the line. This one will carry a 15-minute time limit. Our referee for tonight's match is Bill Scott. Scott presenting the championship to the former champion. It is on the line as he holds it high. Really looking forward to that main event later as Big Van Vader takes on Nature Boy Ric Flair. The winner next in line for a World Heavyweight title match against the champion, the Total Package Lex Luger. Collar and elbow tie-up. Side headlock by Armstrong. Good headlock takedown. Has the champion grounded. Armstrong, a former 2-time champion, hoping to become a 3-time champ here this evening. Good backbreaker there by gorgeous Jimmy, and a leaping leg drop right across the throat. Measures him and drives the fist between the eyes. Rick Martel, of course, ended that reign of Armstrong. Rick Martel no longer signed to WCW. He has gone over to the World Wrestling Federation. It is possible that some of our men will be doing double duty, some wrestling in the World Wrestling Federation and here in WCW. Good move there by Garvin. Cover. Hooks the leg. 1. Some time ago, I heard a very interesting theory when Vince McMahon bought out WCW back in 2001. Wouldn't it have been cool? This was recommended by someone else. If we never found out that it had been purchased. So if WWE had just bought it out, Vince McMahon had bought the promotion out and just kept it running and nobody even knew that it was being run by McMahon. But of course, would McMahon's ego have allowed that to happen? Good clothesline there by Garvin. He wanted to put it right in the face of WCW that he had beaten them. He had finally won the Monday Night Wars. So I don't think that's going to happen with someone like Vince McMahon. Armstrong tripped him up. What's your thoughts? Armstrong with a swinging neckbreaker. But I think this person was saying, maybe it was someone who watches our channel. I don't know. I can't remember. I thought I saw it like on a Facebook post, but it could have been one of you guys, and I'm sorry if I forgot that. But anyway, what would have been like if maybe Shane McMahon had been running it. Good knee there by Garvin. Caught Armstrong across the back of the head. Camel clutch locked in. Let me know if you were the one that said that. I think it's a good idea. I think it would have been great, but like I said, I don't think McMahon would have allowed it to happen. Armstrong flips him over. I really wish Hulk Hogan had bought the promotion. Good clothesline by Armstrong and another off the ropes. And a good drop kick there by Armstrong, the former champ. He is going up top. High risk move. He is waiting for Garvin to get to his feet, just taunting the champion. Armstrong wasting a lot of time. What a diamond cutter. Great move there. Speaking of that, I think Diamond Dallas Page was rumored to be interested in buying it. The promotion. Solid right hands there by Garvin, the champion. Knocking the wind out of Armstrong. Picks him up and good side slam by the champ. I think my favorite period that I saw, I started watching wrestling in 1984 or 85. I think it was 84. I was 5, 6 years old, so it's hard to remember. And Garvin looking for the DDT out of nowhere. He rocked him. I'll try to complete that train of thought here as we make the cover. Wraps up the leg. Middle of the ring. 2. And Garvin's going to retain the title here this evening on World Championship Wrestling. Great victory by Garvin. So I really like the Jim Crockett days. When I started watching, I'm partial to that because I watched it with my dad. And then I really liked the early 90s as well, like 1990 to 92. So those are my 2 favorite eras of World Championship Wrestling. And it's a great win here by Garvin. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner, and still World Television Champion, Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ring, wrestling fans. It is a top contenders match for the TV title. Black Bart taking on Sam Houston.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Texas, weighing in at 285 pounds, Black Bart.
No strangers here. Black Bart and Sam Houston have feuded over the years. And a lot at stake in this one, as the winner will get a TV title shot in 2 weeks against the champion, Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Interestingly enough, Black Bart not coming to the ring with his partner, Wild Bill Irwin. Collectively, they are the Long Riders. Tremendous ovation as Sam Houston makes his way down the rampway.
His opponent from Texas, weighing in at 218 pounds, Sam Houston.
Black Bart has the size and strength advantage in this matchup. Sam Houston will have to use his quickness and agility to overcome him. The fans here in Charlotte clearly behind the youngster, Sam Houston. Still to come, wrestling fans. The Midnight Express are here. They're taking on Brian Pillman and Tom Zink. The winner of that matchup will receive a World Tag Team title shot in 2 weeks against the champions, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. Also our big main event, as I mentioned earlier, Ric Flair taking on Vader, and the winner will get a World Heavyweight title shot against the champion, the Total Package Lex Luger, 2 weeks from tonight. Both men look ready. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. 15-minute time limit in this one. Clubbing blow there by Black Bart. Picks him up and slams him down. In the event of a time limit draw, a name will be drawn at random to receive a TV title shot against Garvin. Crucifix here by Houston. Got a 2 count, nearly took the big man by surprise, and that's what Sam Houston needs to do in this matchup. Using that speed, the agility on Black Bart. Bart was in the ropes, and the referee called for the break on the armbar. Big clothesline by Houston. A cover. Hooks the leg. Easy kick out by Bart. You are watching World Championship Wrestling, the Major League of Professional Wrestling. Camel clutch locked in by Houston. And again, Black Bart was able to hook that foot over the bottom rope, and the referee called for the break. Front face lock by Houston. High knee lift, cut him right in the kisser. Roll up here by Houston. And again, back Black Bart in the ropes. In for the ride. Beautiful drop kick by Houston. I don't think anybody does it better. And Houston in command early on against his #1 rival, Black Bart. Both men feuded over the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship in the 1980s. Good elbows there by Black Bart to the midsection. Neck hang, slings him across the ring. And now Black Bart back in command. Deadlifting Houston. A powerbomb slam, did not go for the cover. And Houston grabbing the lower back after that move. And Bart is going to target it. He is a master of the bear hug. Gut wrench. Spins him around. Good slam there by Bart. Lateral press. 1, 2. Middle of the ring. And a near fall. Houston just got the shoulder off the mat in the nick of time. Black Bart complains to the referee about a slow count. Solid kick to the back. As I mentioned, Bart loves to use the bear hug. He'll also use that Texas compactor is what he calls it, is a flying leg drop off the top rope. And if Houston finds himself on the receiving end of that one, that's going to be all she wrote for the youngster. Meanwhile, Houston is the master of the Bulldog, and that is what Black Bart must avoid at all costs. A kick out there by Houston. Now Black Bart has been in command here for the last couple minutes. Knee to the back of the head. Houston taking a lot of punishment. Kicked him between the eyes. Those cowboy boots digging in. What a headbutt by Bart. Might have knocked the man in the next week. Knocked him senseless, but Bart slow to capitalize here. He says it's over. He's going to drag him to the middle of the ring. A cover. He wasted a lot of time, and that allowed Houston to recover and kick out. And Houston's up quickly. Sam charging in. Overhand wrist lock. Bart with a solid punch to the midsection, and a second, and a third. Got the man off him. Good slip behind by Houston, using the speed and agility there. Tremendous neck breaker. Leaping elbow drop. Into the ropes. And he's going for the Bulldog. Can he hook him? Bart could not hold the ropes, and there's the Bulldog. 11 minutes remaining in the time limit. Wraps him up. That may be all that Houston needs is 4 minutes, and there's a kick out by Bart. Houston can't believe it. Bart able to kick out of the Bulldog. Houston, though, stays on him. Good running elbow drop off the ropes. Houston now tries to turn him over. Single leg Boston Crab. Bart trying to crawl over to the ropes and grab it to break the hold. And he kicks him free. Clubbing blow there by Bart. And another. Really rocked the man. Scoops him up. Twirls him around and slams him face first to the mat. Turns him over. Bart is going up top. He is looking for that Texas compactor. If he lands it, he's moving on for that TV title shot, but Houston moved out of the way. Sam Houston moved out of the way. Hooks him. He's going for a second Bulldog, and he landed it. Great execution by the youngster. Cover. Wraps up the leg. Can he hold him down? Yeah, he won. Sam Houston picks up the victory. Good matchup here between Sam Houston and Black Bart. Houston prevailing with the Bulldog. There you see it early on, the crucifix pin. Bart just able to kick out before 3. Good seesaw match here, back and forth. But it's Sam Houston prevailing. And that hesitation there on the part of Black Bart might have cost them the match. And here you see it, the Bulldog from out of the corner. Black Bart able to kick out. And then Bart going for the flying leg drop, the Texas Compactor. Houston moves out of the way, hooks the Bulldog, and he's your winner. Please don't touch that dial. We have more great wrestling action still to come. Welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina, wrestling fans. It is time for tag team action. Tommy Rich and Mike Rotunda taking on the Powers of Pain.
Is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 479 pounds, Tommy and the Captain, Mike.
Impressive duo here in World Championship Wrestling, still undefeated. Captain Mike Rotunda and Wildfire Tommy Rich. The winner of this matchup receives a U.S. Tag Team title shot in 2 weeks against the Skyscrapers, Sid Vicious and Dan Spidey. That is Medusa's clan. But tonight they got to get past members of Paul Jones's army. Their biggest challenge to date, Barbarian and the Warlord. Ivan Koloff coming down with them along with their manager, number 1 Paul Jones.
And their opponents, accompanied by the Russian Gladiator, Koloff. And at a combined weight of 621 pounds, the Barbarian and Warlord.
The Powers of Pain making their way to the ring for this important matchup. I don't think you can lose either way, regardless who wins this matchup. Whether it's the Skyscrapers and Rich and Rotunda, or the Skyscrapers and the Powers of Pain. That's going to be a great tag team match. I personally would like to see the Powers of Pain against the Skyscrapers. You have power versus power. Even though both teams are rule breakers, what a matchup that would be. They've got to get past Rotunda and Rich here tonight, however, to make that happen. And they do have 2 men in their corner. Nobody in the corner of Rich and Rotunda, but they have the fan support. The fan support on the side of Rotunda and Rich. And that could very well play as the third man. And keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, Rich and Rotunda have yet to lose. They don't want tonight to be their first loss, but it very well could come at the hands of the Powers of Pain. Another tag team match still coming. Midnight Express taking on Zink and Pillman. We also have Nikita Koloff taking on Magnum TA. The winner of that match receives a U.S. title shot against the champion Sting in 2 weeks. It'll be Tommy Rich starting things off for his team. Barbarian for his. 20-minute time limit in this one. Rich and the Barbarian. Barbarian wasting no time. Hoisted him up and slams him down. Powers of Pain trying to establish the dominance early on. Has him up. Powerbomb with authority. Now stomps the kneecap. Trying to shatter it. Drags him toward the middle of the ring. And now deadlifting Wildfire Tommy Rich. I believe he comes in at 235 pounds. If I'm not mistaken, when the WCW World Light Heavyweight Championship was introduced in 1991, Rich got his weight down to qualify. I could be wrong on that. However, he did not win the title as far as I recall, from best I recall. Big splash there by the Barbarian in the corner. Brad Armstrong, of course, got his weight down to 235. So did Johnny B. Bad. A lot of wrestlers coveted that title, and they were losing weight to qualify for the light heavyweight division. Runs over and tags in Mike Rotunda. Now, I could be wrong on Rich, but it sure seems like he competed for the light heavyweight title. Let me know if you remember, or if I'm totally out in left field somewhere. Barbarian makes his way back into the ring. Waist lock. Good side suplex. I do know that Pillman and Jushin Thunder Liger had some great matches for that championship. And I believe Armstrong held the title. I think Kevin and I were talking about that about a year ago. Cover here by Barbarian, a kick out by Rotunda. Swinging neck breaker there by Rotunda. Picks him up. Whips him into the corner. Charging in. A good quick tag there to Tommy Rich. Kicked him in the sternum. Whips him over. And a lateral press by Wildfire Tommy Rich. Easy kick out by the Barbarian. And Rich going to the eyes. Roll up here by Wildfire Tommy Rich. He is close to the ropes. In fact, his fingers grazed that middle rope. Referee allowed the pin because Rich was not using the ropes for leverage. Tag made to Rotunda. And the tag made to the Warlord. Paul Jones getting close to the ring. He is fired up. Cheering on the big Warlord. Whips him into the buckle. Went for the knee. Nobody home, and that knee just smashed against that middle turnbuckle. Rotunda, leaping knee drop across the chest, trying to cave it in. Ivan Koloff looking on with some concern. A shot at the U.S. Tag Team Championship at stake in this contest. Kick to the sternum once again. Warlord, though, shakes it off and slams Wildfire to the mat. And again, that's Warlord deadlifting Tommy Rich. Spins him around. Big slam. Rotunda jumped off the apron, yelling something at the Warlord. Not sure what Rotunda's doing here. He's abandoned. He's coming in the ring here. And he played the Warlord right there and knocks Barbarian off the apron. Referee Bill Scott warning him to get over into his corner again. Cover here by the Warlord. And here comes Rotunda again. In the ring, scoops him up, slams him down. And a quick cover by Wildfire Tommy Rich. Rotunda did the heavy lifting, but an easy kick out before the count of one. Went for the knee, nobody home. Warlord moves out of the way. Has him up. Good gut wrench suplex. And Rotunda grabs Warlord and raked his eyes across the top rope. But Warlord just knocked him off the apron. Good armbar here by Wildfire Tommy Rich. Warlord punching away, using his face as a punching bag. Clubbing blow there by the Warlord. The Cobra clutch locked in. Rotunda coming in and helping out his partner. And he takes a shot to the face for it, but a good fireman carry takeover. And now Rotunda gonna suplex Barbarian into the ring. We've got all four men in there. Barbarian rolls out, and referee Bill Scott warning Rotunda to get out of the ring. Referee was exercising the 5 count, but Rotunda got out before 3. Cover here, and again Rotunda comes in and breaks up the pin. And Rotunda again refusing to leave the ring. Good body slam there by Captain Mike. And Bill Scott letting this one go. He is losing control of this matchup. And Rotunda just knocked Warlord for a loop. And Barbarian is still not in his corner. He is out of it. Rotunda shouted something down at number 1 Paul Jones. A Russian leg sweep by the captain. Stomps the bicep. Whips him into the corner. Sends him in for the ride. A tag made to the Barbarian, but Warlord staying in there. Some payback from the Powers of Pain. Mike Rotunda was constantly coming in to help his partner, and now he is on the receiving end of some double team tactics on the part of the Powers of Pain. And they are making legal tags, so it's perfectly legal. But right there, that both men were in the ring simultaneously. And the referee warning Warlord to get out. Tommy Rich didn't take a liking to that, but a good short arm clothesline by the captain. And he races over and makes the tag to Wildfire Tommy Rich. Rich measuring the Barbarian. He is looking for the Luthez Prez. Raining down right hands on the kisser of the Barbarian. And now knocks off the Warlord. Tommy Rich going up top. High risk move. Flying elbow drop. And the cover. Grape finds the leg. A near fall. The Barbarian kicked out. Ivan Koloff yelling something at the Tommy Rich rather. Now number one, Paul Jones coming over, getting involved, getting right in between both men. And Paul Jones tried to shove Wildfire Tommy Rich. Rich back in the ring. Paul Jones, a former wrestler turned manager. Good knee to the bicep. He currently manages Baron Von Raschke, Ivan Koloff, Nikita Koloff, and the Powers of Pain. Good double team coming up from Captain Mike Rotunda and Rich. Small package. The Barbarian was able to get to the ropes and force a break. Great tag team action here on WCW Saturday night. So as you review the World Wrestling Federation show in this one, do you like the current format, or should we just do WCW every Saturday and forego the World Wrestling Federation? Good stop there by the Barbarian. Another thought was to do WCW weekly every Saturday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time, and just have a World Wrestling Federation show maybe once a month. Roll up here by Captain Mike Rotunda. I'm not sure what happened there. Warlord was coming in. For some reason, Rotunda abandoned the pin. But there's a brainbuster there by the Barbarian. I don't know if Paul Jones yelled something in, or Rotunda sensed that Warlord was rushing in. Nonetheless, a big slam by the Barbarian. And that chair, yeah, thank you, referee Bill Scott. Get that thing out of there. A knee to the face. Submission hold here by the Barbarian. Another thought is just to have big right hand by the Barbarian. The World Wrestling Federation show just once a quarter, like it wasn't, or like the pay-per-views were, I should say. So have Royal Rumble in January, WrestleMania in April, SummerSlam in August. We got Paul Jones running into Ivan Koloff. Not sure what's going on out there. Jones trying to restrain his men, apparently. Good drop kick by Rich, and Warlord landed on that steel chair. Went for the big splash, nobody home. I was going to say in the Survivor Series in November, but we can't do... Yeah, we could do Survivor Series, I think. Could we? You can do 8-man tag matches, but not elimination style, I don't think, on this game. I'll have to look into that. We got all 4 men in the ring. That's Bedlam. Good snap suplex by Captain Mike Rotunda. And a cover by Rich. Good teamwork. 2 counts all he gets. And we're really winding down here. What do we got going on here? Rich suplex Mike Rotunda. I think that was inadvertent. And yeah, Rich is going out to check on his partner, but Paul Jones just threw him back in like a lumberjack. Fulfilling the role of a lumberjack was Paul Jones. Barbarian was going for a big slam. Good counter by Wildfire Tommy Rich. And yeah, that was A botched move there by Rotunda and Rich. They have not teamed together for a long time. A 2 count's all he gets. The experienced edge goes to Barbarian and Warlord, and Barbarian from behind, taking it to Wildfire Tommy Rich. I think Rich was trying to slam his partner down on to Warlord for a pin and lost his footing. That's my only explanation there. He went for the moonsault, nobody home. Rich was there, but he raised the knees, caught him in the midsection, and now Rich in control. As we approach 7 minutes remaining on the time limit, in the event of a time limit draw, we'll again just draw a tag team at random to take on the Skyscrapers in 2 weeks. Rich saying he's going around the horn. And we got Rotunda backdropping Warlord on the floor, and now he's up in the face of Paul Jones, the manager. He better watch himself. He could get his team disqualified, but no, Rotunda makes it back around to his corner. Abdominal stretch with the strength of the Barbarian coming into play as he hip tosses his way out of that one. And Barbarian again might be looking for that moonsault. He is a master at it. But no, going for a big splash this time, and this time catches the knees south of the border. But Barbarian shaking it off. He's as tough as they come. Good fall-away slam. I think between him and Haku, not Haiku. Haiku's a poetry format, or a poetry form. Barbarian and Haku, two of the toughest men in wrestling. In fact, the most infamous haiku poem I've heard of was in Stephen King's It. Ben Hanscom wrote it to Beverly Marsh. Your hair is winter fire, January embers. My heart burns there too. Rotunda coming in and breaking up the camel clutch. I bet you never thought you'd heard poetry recited on World Championship Wrestling. And referee Bill Scott warning Mike Rotunda to get out of the ring. Both men down, both legal men down. 6 minutes remaining in this contest. And no one for the Warlord to tag. He's going after Mike Rotunda. Number 1 Paul Jones ordering Warlord to go after the legal man. That's Wildfire Tommy Rich. Kick to the belly button. Reversal. And a good headlock takedown by Rich. The fans on their feet. Wildfire. A flurry of offense there from Wildfire Tommy Rich. And now measuring the Warlord. 5.5 minutes remaining in the time limit. Luthez Prez. And right hands. Rich going for the cover. Hooks the leg. 1. Can he hold him down? Yeah! Rich and Rotunda remain undefeated in World Championship Wrestling. And they will take on the Skyscrapers in 2 weeks for the U.S. Tag Team Championship. What a great tag team win. Their biggest win to date, I would say.
Winners, Tommy and the captain, Mike.
Don't go anywhere, wrestling fans. More great wrestling matches still to come. Welcome back to the ring, wrestling fans. It is time for singles action. The top 2 contenders for the U.S. Championship will wrestle here this evening. The Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff, taking on the boss, Magnum TA. The winner gets a shot at Sting in 2 weeks.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Baron. And from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 267 pounds, Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff.
Along with their manager, number 1, Paul Jones, Baron von Raschke will be in the corner of the Russian Nightmare in this important matchup. No love lost between these two men either. Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff have feuded over the years. And a lot of stake at this one.
and his opponent, accompanied by the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And from Virginia Beach, Virginia, weighing in at 245 pounds, Magnum T.A.
Magnum T.A. brought along a couple of friends, Mr. Hands of Stone Ron Garvin, along with the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, backing Magnum T.A. And that was a smart move. That's going to even the odds, as we have Koloff with two men in his corner, Paul Jones and Baron von Raschke, the Clawmaster. We got Ron Garvin and Dusty Rhodes in the corner of Magnum TA. "15-minute time limit in this one." Referee Bill Scott signals for the bell. And Koloff just shoves him to the mat, trying to exert dominance early on. Stomps the lower back of Magnum. Grabs him by the throat. Tosses him across the ring. Solid kick to the throat. As you know, Koloff uses that Russian sickle, already softening up that area where that maneuver is delivered. Drops him gut first over the knee. Koloff pulling out to this sold-out Charlotte crowd. Needs to focus on his opponent. Drives the knee right to the mouth. And down goes Magnum. Nikita going for a quick cover. Turns him over, middle of the ring. 2. And a near fall, 2.5. Magnum might be having trouble breathing at this point. Taking those shots to the esophagus. Magnum's down. Magnum in a world of hurt early on. Koloff and Sting, what a match that would be. But what a match between Sting and Magnum. That would be incredible too. We've never seen those two square off. But Magnum has to get past Nikita here. Quick cover by the boss. And an easy kick out. That wouldn't have counted in amateur wrestling. Didn't even get a 1 count on him. Russian leg sweep on the Russian Nightmare. And now Magnum's turned things around. Slams the wrist against the mat. Picks him up on the shoulders. What's he going to do with him? The flapjack. Face first to the mat. Magnum going for the leg, but a solid right hand. Good retaliatory blow there by Nikita Koloff. And drives the elbow across the chest. And Magnum ringing the arm. Might have lost feeling in it. Hey, 1 count only. Magnum, of course, the master of that belly-to-belly suplex. If he can lock it on Nikita Koloff, he's going to win this contest. Most likely. But as I mentioned, Magnum has to avoid that Russian sickle. Drives the chin into the top of the head. Desperation move, but it worked. Good running clothesline by Magnum TA. Now going up top. High-risk maneuver. Waiting for Koloff. High crossbody. But Magnum landed badly. And Magnum rolls out to the floor. His friend Ron Garvin out there checking on him. Here comes number 1, Paul Jones. Magnum back in the ring. Nikita ready for him. Hammerlock. Picks him up. Good back suplex. I usually mention a lot of passings, and they just keep increasing. It's horrible. So definitely thoughts and prayers with the family of Chuck Norris, Dennis Condrey. A kick out there by Magnum TA. A camel clutch locked in by Nikita Koloff. I wish none of us got sick. Face first to the mat goes Nikita. It'd be nice if we lived in a world where everything was perfect. But it's just not the case. I think Ron Garvin threw a chair in the ring. If Magnum uses it, he gets disqualified. Magnum off the ropes. And Nikita caught him coming in. A kick to the face. Solid punch. That doubled up. That doubled over Magnum. Knocked the wind out of him. Stomps the back of the head. And Magnum rolls out to the floor. And Magnum squaring off with Baron von Raschke. Punched him right in the kisser. And Magnum waiting for Koloff. Spins him around. Picks him up again. And drops him again. Gut first over the knee. Ron Garvin and Dusty Rhodes celebrating at ringside. Magnum, good side suplex there. And Baron von Raschke's up on the apron. He gets knocked for a loop. Knocked off the apron. And Magnum applying the camel clutch. Less than 10 minutes remain in the time limit. In the event of a time limit draw, we would have a draw a random name out of the hat. Good chop there by Nikita, and that man would receive the U.S. title shot against Sting. Good standing vertical suplex. Nikita indicating it's over. Has him up. Discus punch. He rocked him. Look at the strength of Koloff. Military press. And now Ron Garvin having words with Nikita Koloff. Distracting the man. Magnum trying to get his bearings. There's the Russian sickle. He caught it a glancing blow, though. Not with the full effect. And did not hook the leg. Middle of the ring. And look at that. Magnum got out after one. It was a glancing blow. Nikita did not catch it full on. And Magnum was fortunate for that. It was out of nowhere, but he didn't catch him with full impact. 8.5 minutes left in the time limit. Who knows if this went to a time limit draw, maybe we'd see Baron von Raschke going against Sting, or Ron Garvin against Sting, or Dusty against Sting. Then Magnum ducked the Russian sickle. But Nikita counters and gives some payback there, a gut buster of his own. And now raining down right hands on Magnum TA. Calling out to the crowd. A delayed cover. 1, 2, and 3. No! Magnum kicked out. 8 minutes remaining. Going to work on the arm. Nikita again turns him over. Presses the head against the mat. 2, 3, no! 2 3/4 right there. Magnum just got the shoulder up in the nick of time. Nikita thought he had him. Good elbow drop. Great matchup here on WCW Saturday night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Still to come. Tom Zink and Brian Pillman taking on the Midnight Express. The winner gets a World Tag Team title shot against the Road Warriors. Into the ropes. Both men collide. Good block there by Koloff. I think Magnum was trying for that belly-to-belly suplex right there. Nikita had it well scouted. Just put the arms up to block it. Great move. And the Magnum sends him in again. Can he hook him? Yes, he can. The belly-to-belly suplex. He's got him pinned. Can he hold him down? 1. Can he get out? He got him. And Magnum is going to take on Sting. What a match that's going to be. That's a dream match. And in the arena, Magnum TA versus Sting. They'll put their friendship aside for that one. That's going to be a great match. U.S. title on the line. Magnum would love to capture that. He's a former world champion here in WCW.
Here is your winner, Magnum TA.
Don't go anywhere, fans. Tag team action coming up next. Welcome back, wrestling fans. It is time for tag team action. The winner of this matchup will receive a World Tag Team title shot against the Road Warriors. Z-Man and Flyin Brian make their way to the ring.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 466 pounds, Z-Man, Tom, Zenk, and Brian.
The fans give Z-Man and Brian Pillman a tremendous ovation. Z-Man really fired up here this evening. What an opportunity for this young team. They would love to go after the Road Warriors with a chance to capture those World Tag Team titles. And this is a team that's been on a roll as of late as well. And they are taking on the Midnight Express.
And their opponents, accompanied by Jim Corey Webb, and at a combined weight of 488 pounds, beautiful Bobby Eaton Webb and Loverboy Dennis, the Midnight Express.
A chorus of boos ring out for the Midnight Express, Loverboy Dennis Condrey and beautiful Bobby Eaton, along with their manager Jim Cornette. Fans, don't worry, Stan Lane still on the roster. We have plans for him in the future. But I really like this combination of the Midnight Express better. But I am a big fan of Stan Lane. I think Bobby and Stan were great. Going forward, though, it's going to be Dennis and Bobby, the Midnight Express. 20-minute time limit in this one. Referee calls for the bell. And Bobby wasting no time. High knee lift on Tom Zenk. Zenk has been on a roll in singles action as of late, too. Winning several matches in a row. And he and Pillman have formed a great tag team. Tag made to Loverboy Dennis. Double team coming up from the Midnight Express. Assisted. High cross body. And Dennis slams the wrist against the mat. Measures him. Drives the fist between the eyes. The Midnight's also still in a feud with the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson not here this evening, not in the building. Scoops him up and slams him down. So the plan with WCW is to try to make it a weekly show. Let me know what you think of that. Z-Man gets right up after the body splash. Big right hand there by Tom Zenk and the jawbreaker. So I'll try my best each week to get a show for you. If for some reason you don't see it a week, don't panic. It'll be up the next week. So it could be bi-weekly, but I'll shoot for weekly. Discus punch there by the Z-Man. I guess when you think about it, when you look back at World Championship Wrestling's programming history, sometimes it was preempted by the Atlanta Braves. And referee took the shot there. Dennis checked on him momentarily. Bill Scott got in the way. And Dennis gonna capitalize on this. He's got a baseball bat. Referee revived though. If Dennis uses that bat, he'll be disqualified, and he dropped it wisely. Surprised it wasn't a tennis racket. Jim Cornette not sporting that tennis racket. And a cheap shot there by Dennis. He grabbed Z-Man and snapped him throat first over that top rope. Tag made to Flyin Brian. A tag made to Loverboy Dennis. He greeted him with a spinning back elbow. Great move there by Dennis. And a leg drop. Dennis now tying up Brian Pillman. Pillman rolls free. Luthez Perez there by Dennis. Raining down right hands. If you're just joining us, the winner of this tag team match will receive a tag team title shot against Hawk and Animal. Hopefully next week, or at the latest 2 weeks from now. Big splash there by Loverboy Dennis. And another flying leg drop. Dennis in command. And the Midnight Express now, they're really taking it to this young team. Still to come, our main event. Vader clashes with Ric Flair the last time they met. Flair was injured at the hands of Big Van Vader in the ring as Vader dethroned him for the World Heavyweight Championship. But in Vader's first title defense, he dropped the championship, losing to Lex Luger. The winner of this match tonight will get a shot against Luger. Z-Man with a clothesline. And Bobby trying to grab Tom Zink. Zink avoiding him. Now Bobby coming over. Cannot reach him. And Z-Man just taunting beautiful Bobby. Now Loverboy Dennis fights back. Dennis has him up. Gutbuster. He dropped him gut first over the knee. Now grabs one leg and turns him over. Single leg Boston Crab. So baseball season is back. The Reds didn't fare so well on opening day, losing to the Boston Red Sox. I think it was 3-0. They took Friday off. Tag made to beautiful Bobby. Double team coming up. Drop toe hold by Loverboy Dennis. And a good elbow drop there by beautiful Bobby. Stomps the arm. And now Bobby locking on the shoulder claw. That damaging nerve hold. Locked in. But Z-Man sweeps the leg. I actually watched the Mets-Pirates game. It was on NBC on Thursday afternoon. Good to see baseball back on broadcast TV over the airwaves. Clothesline there by Zink. And another. Head of steam off the ropes. Good drop kick there. We don't pay for cable, but we do have a good savate kick there by Tom Zink. And Loverboy Dennis coming in. Z-Man moved out of the way. Jim Cornette now up in the apron, trying to get the referee's attention. And now we've got a right hand by the Z-Man onto Dennis Condrey. Z-Man turns him over. Going up top, might be looking for that missile drop kick. If he can land it, this one's going to be over. Fans standing all throughout this arena. Z-Man off the top, missile drop kick, but Bobby moved out of the way in the nick of time. And Z-Man crashes hard to the mat. Good neck breaker. We pay for a service called Friendly, which is kind of a TV service, but it's like an internet streaming package, whatever you want to call it. It does have live channels on it. And the Alabama Jam, flying leg drop. Down, no, Brian Pillman battling back. Bobby was trying to knock Pillman off the apron, I guess to prevent him from coming in and making the save, knowing that Dennis Condrey's out. But that time he does knock him off the apron. A delayed cover here by beautiful Bobby. Wraps up the leg. Can he hold him down? No. Z-Man had time to recover. Brian Pillman just saved this team right there. Double team coming up. Midnight Express working well together as a tag team. Drives a knee to the lower back. Damaging move. So it's called Friendly, F-R-N-D-L-Y. And if you like sports, though, you'll be disappointed because there are no sports channels. Tag made here. We have a double team from the Midnight Express. There's a leg drop again. And a cover. Hooks the leg. Pillman trying to make the save. Condrey cuts him off. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna do it. The Midnight Express win this one. Maybe we'll talk more about Friendly in the next match. But things not friendly tonight for Brian Pillman and Tom Zink as they drop this one to the Midnight Express. And beautiful Bobby and Loverboy Dennis will get that World Tag Team title shot against the Road Warriors. Stay tuned for that matchup. Either look for it next week or the following Saturday.
Midnight Express.
Excellent victory for the Midnight Express. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ring, wrestling fans. It is time for our main event. Big Van Vader taking on Nature Boy Ric Flair. The winner gets a world title shot against the Total Package Lex Luger.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from the Rocky Mountains, weighing in at 456 pounds, Vader!
Fans expressing their disgust for Big Van Vader. He nearly put Ric Flair out of wrestling back in December in Tokyo. Vader hoping to get this win here this evening. He wants a rematch against Lex Luger. One would think he would be due a rematch eventually, as would Ric Flair. But whoever wins this will get the first shot at Lex Luger. Vader comes out alone, but he really needs nobody in his corner. He is a one-man wrecking crew. I don't think Ric Flair is going to come out alone, but we'll wait and see. I saw other members of the Horsemen here earlier. Barry Windham, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. And there we see Tully Blanchard. We got Flair. We got Baby Doll. We got Arn Anderson. No Barry Windham. Interesting. I saw him earlier.
And
maybe he already left.
Accompanied by the Enforcer, Arn Anderson. And representing the Four Horsemen from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 245 pounds, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Perhaps Windham left the building already. Maybe they should check under the ring, see if he's hiding under there. Remember Halloween Havoc 1990? If my memory serves me correctly, Windham was under the ring, dressed in Sting-like spandex tights, and he had his face painted. And of course he had blonde hair, but of course Windham's not that good to look like Vader. There's about a 200-pound difference. Maybe 250. What a matchup. This one should be a main event this evening. Thank you so much for sticking with us. 20-minute time limit in this main event. And Bill Scott calls for the bell. Flair, wasting no time, trips him up. And we're going to work on the legs. Spinning toe hold. Excellent strategy here by Nature Boy Ric Flair. Keep the large man on the mat. I'm sure Flair has had time over 3 months to review footage of his match with Vader, and he's getting well scouted now. Pounds the knee against the mat. He knows he's got to work on those legs, work him over, weaken him, keep Vader grounded. And of course, Vader just wants to get the power and strength game working for him and do an encore of what he did in Japan. And that's a good start. A reverse powerbomb. Flair hits face first to the mat, and Baby Doll cringing out ringside. Big splash by Vader. And now Vader picking up momentum. This is not where Ric Flair wants to find himself. He does not want to find himself on the receiving end of the brute strength of Big Van Vader. Flair now trips him up again, going for the ankles. Clubbing blow there by Flair. Big right hand, he jacked his jaw. Inverted DDT, great move there by the Nature Boy. That's something you don't see from him often. But there's that power game coming into play. A good power backdrop and a elbow drop. Elbow smash. Military press by Vader. Slams him down. So the highlights of the friendly TV service would be a big splash by Vader. Not a big splash by Vader, but maybe History Channel, if you like that. Cover here by Vader. Hallmark is on there, and I think the Hallmark Movies channel. Lifetime and Lifetime Movies channel. Your girlfriend or wife would like it. Cover here by Vader. 2, and Vader, or Flair rather, just got the shoulder off the mat. MeTV is on there. And what's good about it is that they don't interrupt any of the programs for local news broadcasts. It's the Chicago streaming signal, so there's no interruptions. Neck hang here by Vader and slams him down. 1. I'm not sure what the cost is. I think we pay like $11 a month after tax. To me, it's worth it. You have to have high-speed internet. High-speed internet already, though, or it's not going to work well. Scoops him up. Slams him down. And a cover by Vader. Middle of the ring. Hooks the leg. Bill Scott slow to get into position. And a 2 count. Vice channel is on there. And I think they show some WWE documentary type programs like Rivals and things like that. A 1 count by Flair. A lot of Western channels, so I'm not really into those so much. Vader scoops him up and drives him to the mat. The service is pretty good. We don't have many interruptions with it. We have Spectrum Internet. Belly to back suplex by Vader. Spectrum Internet goes down quite a bit here lately. That's not Friendly's fault. Front face lock there by Vader. And latches on the bear hug. Middle of the ring. Flair in trouble. Bill Scott asking him if he wants to call it quits right here. And Vader has sustained a lot of injuries to that back, stemming to a 1975 airplane crash. And Flair claps the ears. And he goes to the eyes. He poked him right in the eye. And now Flair with a high knee lift. Vader does not go down. And still will not. Vicious knife edge chop. Elbow. Flair buries it in. And now Vader finally drops to the mat. Flair had to resort to gouge in the eye. And now the rolling knee drop. A cover here by the Nature Boy. Wraps up the leg. And only gets a 1 count. Vader with an easy kick out. Trying to think what else is on. Oh, the Movies channel. Yeah, that's a great channel. Flair was sneaking figure 4. Vader had other ideas there. And now Anderson up on the apron. Jawing with Vader. Yeah, the Movies Network is great. Flair grabs the leg. Dragon screw. 15 minutes left in the time limit. In October, you see a lot of great horror films on Movies. I think it's owned, don't quote me on this, but I think it's owned by the same folks who own MeTV. I could definitely be wrong on that, though. Big slam there by Vader. Vader going after Anderson. And Blanchard wisely just standing back. He wants no part of Big Van Vader. Meanwhile, Vader's going to powerbomb Anderson. They were jawing earlier. From behind, Flair with a cheap shot. Now rakes the back of Vader. And again, a second time. Look out, baby doll. They're coming your way. Flair attacking the leg, and baby doll wisely backing up here. 14:08 left in the time limit. Speaking of movies, oh yeah, there's another channel on Friendly called Movie Sphere Gold, MSG. Baby doll coming up behind Vader. No, she's going over to Tully there. Vader off the top, knee across the chest. And now a shoulder claw locked in by Vader. But anyway, that MSG channel, Movie Sphere Gold, they showed 14:08 a few days ago. A Stephen King movie based on a novella, I believe. Haven't read that one, but I have seen the film. And they also showed Maximum Overdrive. Stephen King called that a moron movie. He wasn't too thrilled with it. It was based on his short story Trucks, which appears in Night Shift. I thought it was a good 80s movie. I guess I'm a moron. That's okay. Double underhook suplex there by Vader. Emilio Estevez is in it. It's just a campy 80s film, and it just fit the time period. Camel clutch there by Vader. What else have they shown on that channel? Warm Bodies, which is good too. Very clever, smart zombie movie. Flair charging in. Good clothesline by the Nature Boy. So to me, friendly is worth it. But like I said, if you're really diehard sports fan, you probably won't like it. They have like an outdoor hunting channel, I believe. But for like $11 for, I don't know, 60 channels. I don't know how many channels it is, but it's at least 40 channels for 11 bucks. And if you already have internet, it's a good deal. Vicious knife edge chop by Flair. But if you like seeing like your local baseball team, MLB team, you'll be disappointed. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a Reds game on TV in, well, since the last time Fox 45 aired them last season. And they did that maybe like twice the whole year. Great matchup here. Flair with a clothesline. Vader rolls out to the floor. And Flair going to the second rope to celebrate. Not a smart move. Here comes Vader from behind. And he's got Flair. Belly to back suplex off that middle rope. Flair took his eyes off his opponent. And that might cost him here. Good waist lock takedown. And now Vader. There it is. The crossface, middle of the ring. Flair is trapped. He might have to submit right here. Flair's got to find a way out of this, and he does. He used momentum, Vader's own momentum against him to escape that move. A world title shot hangs in the balance. It's Flair and Vader. Flair wanting revenge on Vader. As you know, Vader injured him, put him out for, I think it was, what, 2 months? It was over a month, I know that. Covered here by Flair. 1. And a 1 count's all he gets. We are fast approaching 10 minutes left in the time limit. In the event of a time limit draw, a name will be drawn out of a hat. And that person will receive a world title shot against Lex Luger. But Flair wants it to be him right here. He's locked in the figure 4, and Vader's in trouble. Vader's in trouble. Vader has nowhere to go. He gave up. He gave up. And Flair gets his revenge. Ric Flair will get the world title shot against Lex Luger. And Baby Doll jumps for joy. Tully also celebrating. The Nature Boy has earned his shot here tonight, defeating Big Van Vader. Fans stunned. Many happy to see Vader fall, but some are just in disbelief. Vader seldom loses. But tonight, Ric Flair just too much for him. As you know, Flair worked on those legs all throughout this matchup, and it took its toll on Vader. Flair went for the figure 4 earlier. Vader had to counter. And there you see Vader taking on his frustrations on Anderson. Let's go down and get the official word.
Here is your winner, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Thank you so much for being here this evening. We'll see you next Saturday, either for World Wrestling Federation or WCW, most likely WCW. Have a great week.